Hey, Fran.
Morning.
Morning. Can you remind me who I was supposed to send another link to for this morning? Was it Andrew? Who was coming from BDC?
I think it was Andrew. Let me look.
I'm,
Andrew and Tim. Yes, Andrew and Tim.
Tim was already coming,
Right.
and it's Andrew who I have not sent the link to. All right, let me. I need a weekend now.
A jump start.
Oh my God. Yeah, my parents have been here since last Wednesday, and they're leaving. Their flight leaves this morning.
Oh no,
So
too short.
yeah. Well, it
Well,
felt
I mean, because you haven't seen him, right?
I haven't seen him in 16 months.
Yeah, too short.
But we've picked up food every single night. Like I'm done.
Yeah, it's not like you can do normal stuff.
Yeah. Well, they did get to see 2 soccer games, 3 softball games.
Oh, that's good.
Yes, and they saw my dad got to see her first out of the park home run.
Very cool.
Yes. But yeah, their flight's at 1. Okay. Sending him link. Okay. Sent it to him. And then I should really send. I'll remember when I get off. A series of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 voicemails to return.
Oh my goodness.
I only took a couple hours off yesterday afternoon. Okay. I know you sent the other email with who's attending what, so I will send those out as soon as I get done. Oh, and then I know I already processed your invoice.
Yes, it showed up yesterday.
Oh, so I was confused. I thought you meant ignore that it had arrived.
No, ignore my message, the never mind message. Because it was that that wasn't even for you. That was something totally unrelated to.
Okay. Just make sure.
That was me multitasking and I hurt myself.
That's okay. Yeah, I've got 4 special activities permits to approve. I've got 4 bills to pay. I've got some craziness all on my desk.
You just need to clone yourself.
I want to. I need to. I want to go home and have a weekend. We're working on a puzzle. We're working on a 3,000 piece puzzle.
Oh my.
I just want to sit and puzzle for a little while. Okay. Ortho. And do we have everybody today?
Bill won't be here, and I never heard from Stacy or Gary.
Okay.
But everybody else should be here.
Okay, and then I really should print out the minutes to remember what I've told them and not told them about stuff that's going on.
Yeah, because then you can just go down the list.
Exactly.
Yeah, because things change throughout the month.
It's just been crazy. Okay, so agenda, I had the agenda printed, but March minutes.
Hello.
Hi, Margaret.
Morning.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are
Good.
you?
Doing okay. Got a question for you. We have some things on the Ozark Theater we are considering doing this year, and we're considering doing some afternoon concerts on some.
I'm gonna stop you for a second. I did get Dan's email and voicemail. What I'm trying to get is, sorry, I'm printing the agenda or the minutes at the same time. County is requiring a pretty extensive plan for anything that involves gathering. So what I was going to do is get you the latest and greatest, which is about to change, form with all the questions you have to answer in order to have anything over a certain size. So I was trying to do some additional research before I got back with Dan.
Okay, so we're going to have to, so is this the city requirements or the county?
It's the county requirements, but we get in trouble if we let you do something without doing what the county is requiring, because we don't have a health department here. So anything that involves like gatherings, and if someone complains that you have too many people, even if it's outdoors, and you're not following whatever protocols are currently open, and I know they're talking about changing some of the requirements for outdoors. And there's a few things that are changing, but for now, anything over a certain size that's in an area that would be an event, more than just, a few people are at, the outside of Frisco Bar Room on their patio or whatever it is, but they have a whole set of requirements that you have to follow. So I wanted to make sure I had the right ones for you and send those over.
All right.
And I was just telling Fran, I was out all day Friday and I was out half a day yesterday.
Okay.
I haven't seen my family in 16 months and they flew in town.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So they're leaving, they're flying out this morning and I'm catching up. I have 9 voicemails,
understandable.
20 emails.
It's just that we have this one band that I don't know, it wasn't me or Dan, but maybe it was Dorothy, but they must have booked it. We have to let them know whether they can, it's in June and we have to let them know whether it's going to happen or not. And so I just thought I would follow up.
Oh, no, I'm glad you did. I'll send you, if I'd had a couple extra minutes yesterday, I got his voicemail and I was going from meeting to meeting to meeting. And then I had to pick up the girls from high school. So it was one thing after another.
Okay. Just thought he asked me to follow up and because we would like to do something, but we obviously have to work within the guidelines, and he understands that, because he has 2 forms of cancer he's dealing with, so he's not, and we know that when you're dealing with the kind of business we were in, there's people and germs and glasses, and it's just, it can be germy. I never really thought of it that way, but under the circumstances, you got to keep that in mind.
I will definitely send him what we have right now, but I really think it's changing this week or next week. So with a lot of stuff, even as far out as June, something could change.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you. Just thought I'd bring that up.
Yes. Tell him he is on my to-do list for today.
Okay.
That's how that works. Hi, guys.
Good morning.
Morning.
Mara, do you happen to know how long the MSD is going to be working on Lockwood? That's what I thought.
I was going to say, Which one are you talking about? Let's see. MSD on Lockwood, Missouri American Water on Glendale, Big Bend, and Elm. I think there's another one. Oh, MSD on Spring, MSD on, there's another one. Yeah, I'm at a loss. Oh, and the city's repaving streets. So like,
Right, that's, my street was supposed to be, yeah, it's supposed to start this week.
I was
So,
gonna say my street's supposed to start this week.
yeah, so.
So my kid's like, wait a minute, Mom, there's a postcard. Where am I supposed to put my car? And I'm like, you're supposed to put it in the driveway.
Right. Yeah, it'll be all right.
It's all good. But yes, I'll try to find out.
That's okay. I know MSD is not, they don't respond to anything or anybody. They just do what they do. And
Well, and you and Tim can commiserate on some issues because I think Missouri American Water did damage to his property and he's gonna have to deal with them.
oh boy.
Yeah. And I said, I'm like, I'm sorry, Big Bend's not our street. So
Right,
I can't
yeah.
even help with that. At least with Lockwood, we can help a little bit.
Right.
Um,
So because it's a county street, you can't do anything. You can't even,
It's county, yeah. So anything on the Cleat Station, Big Bend. What am I missing? Cleat Station, Big Bend. There's another one. Oh, Watson. No, Watson's MoDOT. Anyway. We got 3. We need a couple more.
who's the third?
Oh, I'm sorry, you have 2.
You.
Can't count this morning.
My wife and I just got back from hiking Southern Illinois for 2 days, about almost 20 miles in 2 days.
Wow.
Wow.
We totally forgot about the meeting until about 4 in the morning. I'm like, oh God. I was like, I got the meeting tomorrow morning. I got it. Hi, Joe.
Hi, Ron.
Morning, Joe.
Good morning.
3, 2 more.
Running a little bit late.
You're not the only one. You're usually never late.
Well, I got caught at least 7 or 8 minutes in Bristol traffic.
Ah. The city needs to do something about that school.
I think so.
I don't know who this phone number is. Four, five, 6.
Could that be Mickey?
Maybe.
How did I get off of there?
What? I moved you over. I don't know why you never use our link. Where's our link? Why don't you? use
I went straight to the, and I still, like, I don't know if you can see me. I can't see you guys anymore.
Oh,
No.
we can see you.
I can see you.
Oh, it's a good thing I'm not flipping the computer screen off right now.
Oh.
What is the deal?
Andrew, I moved you over so that you'd be over for when we get to visitors.
Sure. There I am again. I can see myself at least.
And actually, you know what, Andrew, I'm going to move you over to what we call a panelist, just so that you can be seen.
Okay.
When I put you over just as someone to speak, you can't be seen.
Now I can be seen. There I am.
There. Hey, Ron, we can see you.
4.
You got 4 and then a phone number. And I don't know who the phone number is. 569.
Can you unmute them and ask them who they are?
I felt like I did.
We have 5.
No, we have 4.
23. You're right. You count better than me.
It's okay. Earlier I counted 3 and there was only 2.
Oh,
I'm not counting very well this morning. Oh, there's Mark. Now you've got 5.
Hey.
All right.
Hey, it's Mark.
Hey,
Oh.
Mark.
Hi,
Can you guys
Mark.
hear me?
Yes,
Sorry, I didn't realize I was still muted.
that's okay. I'm like, who's the phone number? Oh, now I found it. I see you on here.
I'm on here now, but
You can call the meeting to order. Approval of the March minutes.
I'll move to approve.
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye.
I,
Opposed? Okay. Visitor comments. I guess that's Andrew
It's Andrew and Tim
and Tim.
together.
I understand Tim's not a visitor. I am. It's my first time coming to one of the meetings. My name's Andrew Scavato. I'm an attorney and partner at the Stinson Law Firm in St. Louis. I live in Webster, and I serve on the Business Development Commission with Tim and several other individuals, some of which are representatives from various businesses in the 3 different business districts. Tim being an example of a representative from Old Webster. Others are just interested or engaged members of the community. And the Business Development Commission monitors the goings on of the business community. And one of its primary objectives, as I understand it, Mara and Fran, of course, jump in and explain it better if you have the opportunity. But one of its primary objectives is to try to promote connectivity and communication and coordination throughout and within, between and amongst the businesses here in the business community. And it's something that the Business Development Commission is constantly thinking about and trying to do better. And I guess that's why we're here today, is we just thought it made sense to, as part of that strategic effort, to increase communication between the commission and the local businesses, and so that in help the commission become better informed about what's going on and what the needs and concerns of local businesses are in the 3 separate districts. We decided to start appearing at the meetings and try to open up more formal lines of communication between the commission and the 3 business districts. So I'm here observing the meeting today on behalf of the commission. So is Tim, and we'd be happy to discuss the commission's role, what the commission can do for you, any ideas you have or concerns, or how we can better increase and promote communication between the commission and the businesses it serves. So for now, we'll just here to observe the meeting and sort of state that as a strategic objective going forward. And of course, feel free to ask any questions or let us know if there's any concerns or issues you'd like us to take back to the commission now or in the future going forward.
I think that's the biggest thing right there, is anything you'd like to know or would like the commission to address that we can take back to that group.
Yeah, I don't have anything off the top of my head right this second. I know Tim's always been a liaison there, and I always feel like we could always just ask him, or he's always given us reports on the Business Development Commissioner in our monthly meetings. But we could definitely maybe try to come up with some ideas of things that we would like more information on, maybe in our next meeting, and go from there.
Yeah, and it'll be a process. It's something the commission's thinking about and working on, is putting some initiatives in place that will help the commission communicate more directly and be more engaged with businesses going forward. So ideas are welcome, but certainly no one's on the spot, of course. It's just a strategic plan going forward.
Okay, sounds great. Any comments from anyone else? All right. So on our original, it's old business, which is rooftop lighting, which is constantly old business. I think I know our lights are all up and running.
Ron, we actually took it off the agenda because there was no update.
Okay, I got it. All right, sounds good. I didn't get that new agenda for some reason. I don't know
That's
why.
okay. I'm just FYI on rooftop lighting. Yes, I had 3 different repairs that need to be made. We finally got those scheduled, so hopefully you're good to go. And then I'm still trying to get them to schedule Mark's building for the new O&O. And then there's a couple others that I'm still trying to work on to get scheduled, but since it's spring, they're pretty busy. And so we're a little bit waiting in the backup, but I did also get, because we were getting low on the wiring, which we were talking about needing new wires to put on some of the older buildings. I was able to get 7 more spools that were the last 7 spools that the company has. We'll have to upgrade to a different type soon. But they had 7 spools left. So I already bought all of those, bought the washers that they need to keep the water out. So I've got all these actually sitting in a pile in my office. And as soon as Strive is good to go, they'll come and swing by and pick them up and move on to whatever next buildings we have to work on. So it wasn't on the agenda, but there's an update.
Sounds great. Thanks, Mara. Kind of old business, not really old business, but we need this street dance. We're in a little bit of a holding pattern on that because of the fact that regulations from the county, we're still not there yet, but those are changing as we, daily almost. So I guess, Joe, you have something you want to say? Your drop down deadline date is going to be?
Well, in my mind, I'm using May 20th as a drop dead date. Probably June 1st could be if there's really something anticipated coming at that point. Current regulations with the square footage on the street and such, I come up with, I think, a maximum number of people right now of about 1,500. And that we've had more than that the last few years. So I don't really know what to say or what we can do. And there's certainly no way we can control who comes. There's no way that we can monitor the number of people that show up.
So, Joe, one thing I have heard is that there might be some changes in the next couple weeks. So, figuring out what the drop dead date in terms of us being able to sign off with whatever county will approve might be something you want to think about.
And what do you consider that to be? I
mean, in the grand scheme of things, whenever you get something from county, I can sign off the next day for our special activities. So from that standpoint, I'm good. And again, I'm hearing that there might be some changes to some of the outdoor, maybe separation requirements. We might see a couple things this week.
Okay, well, I mean, like I said, in my mind, I'm using still a drop dead of May 20th. So, and I know you said before to me that you would sign off virtually immediately on anything that came as long as we had something from the county. And that's the same with Brentwood on their stage.
Okay.
They've said the same thing.
And the exact date is what is the exact date of the street dance, Joe? 20.
June 19th.
19. Yeah.
So, I would be, we will be having Fran send, if we are going with it, we will be having Fran send out urgent messages that we will probably need at least 20 or 25 volunteers rather than 5 when it comes to do it.
Okay.
So,
Okay, so I guess that's that for that. New business.
I know the agenda didn't have any new business, but I have two things that came up since we put the agenda out. So
Right.
the first is related to trash cans. So Public Works has asked me to let your district and Old Orchard know, please tell people to stop moving the trash cans. So apparently, I guess, sometimes they're there and someone says, well, it's too full. And I don't know how they're moving them because they're super, super heavy, but they're moving trash cans. They're moving them from out on the sidewalk to back behind their buildings. They're moving them. I mean, like some of them are just disappearing. We don't know where they're going. And so when it comes to our contract for our trash company to pick up, which is starting in April, they usually pick up twice a week. In the winter, they were picking up once a week, which was a little tough because we had such a warm early spring or end of winter. But they got a call the other day of, hey, this thing is overflowing. And, Public Works said, well, today's the day they're picking up. And they're like, oh, well, we moved it. And we're like, you can't, then they can't pick it up. They don't know where the trash cans are. So I'm just giving a reminder, please do not move the trash cans. So they're gonna go do another accounting of where all the trash cans are again. We have in our budget, which won't get approved till July 1, purchasing some new ones to replace the ones that are broken. They'll then be able to take the broken ones out of commission and then maybe even make some repairs and put them in sort of back areas. I know we don't like them as much with the new ones, but just if you can pass the word on and tell them, please do not move those trash cans. That would help enormously. The second thing, which I know Mark's on the call, so hopefully he can hear this one too. We've had a request that this Saturday, there's a company trying to film a commercial on the back lot of Bristol. And when we first talked with them about, do you need a special activities permit? They're like, oh, when we told them, if you're going to close streets, if you're going to close Gore, and at first it was going to be a weeknight. They were first talking Gray, then they were talking Gore, then they were talking just Gore. Then they were talking, well, it was afternoon, then it switched to evening. Now it's kind of switched to, it's a Saturday. They said they weren't going to need to close streets. Then they asked again to close streets. So the last thing that the police department said was, look, if you're closing, if you even want to remotely just even have someone try to stand there and direct traffic, you need to send this in ahead of time. It needs to go before the tax district. They were sort of saying, well, couldn't we just close it over here? And we're like, no, there's restaurants in the mornings, and this is the back parking lot. So the last I've heard, and I'm waiting to see what they've decided to do, I believe that they're going to try to do it without closing any streets, without doing anything else, but you might see some movable portable cameras on a couple sidewalks at Gore and Cedar. And then they're going to be on the Bristol parking lot, and it's from like 7 a.m. on Saturday until like 3 in the afternoon on Saturday. But we basically said, you can't block sidewalks, you can't block streets. If you have movable equipment that, you can kind of put it in place for a few minutes to do whatever, shot you need of the street, and then you can move it again. They could do that, but I don't have an approved special activities permit for it yet. But I wanted to give a heads up since I had everybody on here. And in particular, I thought if Mark was on, he could hear that for in case anyone, it's right behind Clover and the Bee and O&O in case they see anything or hear anything that's going on. So those were my, I think, 2 new business items I wanted to make sure to get out there.
Hey, city update.
I'm to make it a little bit easier, go down the minutes from last time so that I can kind of just make sure I'm not forgetting anything. I know I keep saying Le Macaron, it's going to open any day now. They've done health department. I'm pretty sure they're pretty close to finishing up all their inspections. I think he thought the first week of May. I mean, we're at the end of April. It's any day now, but any day now, I promise. Dee Mao should be any day now. I know I've been seeing they've been posting a lot of things saying that they're coming. I hadn't had a chance to see if they are open yet, but they were finishing up some final permits with us. Union Bagels under construction in Crossroads. Wingstop is under construction in Yorkshire Plaza. There's a new sushi restaurant. It's actually named Zushi Sushi. So Zushi is under construction in Yorkshire Plaza. We also have Amy's Cake Pop and Boozy Bites. They should be open quite soon in Old Orchard. There's a couple other spaces that have some potential new tenants coming in Old Orchard. I'm waiting to see what's going on with both of those, but John Barr's been doing some renovations to the facades on both of those. Lona's Little Eats is still on hold, and I don't know if we're going to have it come or not come at this point in Old Orchard. They were trying to go into one of the buildings from the Subaru dealership on the north side of the street. On the south side of the street, I don't have anything in yet for the big main Subaru location, but I've been talking with a few people about some things they're thinking about. The urgent care, I think, has almost all their permits at this point in the former used car lot for Subaru, and then the business building next door. So they're working on that space right now. Fire station number 2, if you've driven by, at least one wall is up. They're doing it in phases. They're building the area where the firefighters sleep, their living quarters first, and then they can tear down the station itself, and then they'll build the second phase of it, because then they can move the firefighters into the first phase. Hickson Middle School is still undergoing their construction, and they're kicking along pretty well. There's still a bunch of things going on in the school district, in all the various schools, making all their renovations for ADA accessibility and the security. Plan Commission finished up some code amendments that were related to 2-family structures, as well as related to amendments to the single-family residential maximum square footage and some other things related to height and massing of structures. Those 2 hearings went before the city council for their first part of their hearing, and then they, at the last council meeting, closed those hearings. I know if anyone has any particular questions, there was an ad in the Webster Kirkwood Times against the code changes, but there was a lot of misinformation in that ad. And so it's very confusing that it's been changed around with some things that are completely inaccurate information. So if you have anyone who has questions, please direct them to us, or tell them to attend the city council meeting, where we can answer additional questions, because it's frustrating when misinformation is out there. And when I've talked with residents and explained what the code amendments are, they're not as against it. They understand it, and they understand what it could potentially mean to the city. So I'm happy to answer any of those questions. We do have before the Plan Commission, which I briefly, I think, told all of you, we're trying to change the multifamily use that currently is a conditional use permit in your district and not allowed at all in Old Orchard or on Watson in the C district. We're currently looking at changing that to be a permitted use as long as it meets a series of regulations. So for example, if someone wanted to change over all the second story above CJ Muggs in that building, right now it's offices, but if they wanted to make those apartments or condos, right now you'd have to go through a full CUP process. And we've been kind of talking through the option of the fact that in your area, it's more walkable. And if you wanted to have something like some multifamily, that's a logical place where you might want it to go. So we have the hearing open right now with Plan Commission. It'll probably be open for the next couple meetings. In addition, Rolling Ridge has applied for a conditional use permit to use some of their existing spaces for things like events, meetings, maybe wedding receptions, birthday parties, things like that in their existing space. And they do need a CUP for that. That hearing is on the next Plan Commission meeting, which is coming up on Monday, May 3rd. So both multifamily as well as Rolling Ridge will be on Monday, May 3rd. The redevelopment area, if anyone has any questions on that, their submittal has been turned in to us. We are currently reviewing that. All the departments, all my other departments are reviewing it also. We should know this week whether we're going to be moving forward with, say, the earliest possible option, which would be a June public hearing. If so, it would be going on June 7th as an open up the hearing to start discussing. We do have a model here at City Hall. A lot of people have had questions about that. We also have an online form that people can submit questions and comments. That's being all gathered and integrated into the packet for Plan Commission, as well as being forwarded to the City Council. So we're working on all of that. I feel like there's something else. We've gotten so busy right now that we actually have an advertisement out for an additional inspector. So I have a new position open for a new inspector, and I'm hoping to get that filled as quickly as possible. We're starting to get very, very behind on permit applications and even a couple days out for inspections. So we're trying to keep everybody moving as quickly as we can, but we didn't slow down at all over winter, and we didn't slow down at all last year. And our numbers have been pretty crazy. So we're just gonna keep chugging along. I think that covered everything. Oh, the City Council did talk about Proposition 1 and maybe bringing it back onto an agenda. The budget hearing should be starting soon. The City Council's having their budget work session on May 11th. And that, I think, definitely covers everything that I have for any updates, unless anyone has questions.
Mar, I believe that the parade is still on for 4th of July.
At this point, parade is still on for 4th of July. I know there's still discussions about the carnival, but that's going to be tied to county.
Okay, and the parade is on Saturday morning, July 3rd.
Yes, because yes, you will probably remember more than me. I kind of
Yes,
glazed over when they talked about it because I think I had a hearing on that night.
yes, it is scheduled for 10 o'clock on July 3rd.
Yes, and they don't do that very often, but I think they do it when 4th of July falls on a Sunday.
Correct. So.
Anything else anyone has?
I guess for next month's meeting, Mark, we get an update on our budget, how much money we actually had come in?
Yes. And I know, I'll remind you that you guys kept getting those financial institution, like, here's another $5,000 or here's another $10,000. This year's one came in and I think it was just under 2,000, but still an additional 2,000. But yes, I will give you, and in fact, Fran, just to help remind me, let's put a budget update, because I usually do that in May for every district. Would you add that so that I don't forget?
Sure.
Thank you.
All right, anything else, anybody? All right, great. All right, next meeting will be on the 27th of May. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thanks all.
Okay,
Thanks, bye-bye.
thank you.